Welcome to this week's episode of the Quantum Business Queen podcast. This episode, I'm going to do something I don't often do, which is talk a little bit about strategy. But of course, I want to kind of interweave that with a bit of frequency. But there's a few different myths that I want to bust. So for those of you who don't know, I am the founder of the Quantum Business Academy. And within that, I teach multi-dimensional business. So we teach 3D strategy, 4D frequency alchemy, and 5D frequency creation, of course, similar to the podcast, except for I don't really talk a lot about strategy in this podcast. I don't know why, because I love strategy. And the strategy, the mechanism that we use to scale online entrepreneurs are funnels, and more specifically, something called an SLO funnel, and that's a self-liquidating offer funnel. And I'll explain to you a little bit more about what that is. And firstly, I want to say, I want to take a step back and I want to let you know the reason I love funnels so much is it has eliminated the guessing game. I was speaking to an entrepreneur who had a coach, and I don't ever want to poo-poo another coach's strategy, but it's, a lot of the advice out there I've noticed that is given, it's like, okay, well, get yourself on podcasts and put yourself out there. And of course, I agree. Like, I love doing podcasts. More so, the intention behind this podcast isn't necessarily to put myself out there, though. It is because I have information and I have paradigms I know need to be flipped, and I know they can help you. And so, the problem with that kind of strategy, it's like, let's get yourself speaking in different masterminds and all the things. And yes, you want to get the brand awareness out there, but if you're just throwing things out and kind of pushing and praying and hoping things stick, that is not a data-driven strategy that is going to create a sense of inevitability in your subconscious and in your field. And so the reason why I freaking love what we do by way of the funnels is we work with data-driven strategy. And not only do we use the data to interpret information to help us know the exact pivots that we need to make in order to scale, subconsciously speaking, that creates and instills this sense subconsciously of inevitability. And that's why we've been able to have the success we've had. That's why our clients have the same success. We just launched a client who's never run ads, who doesn't really have brand awareness. And it's taken a week before the funnel is already self-liquidating, meaning it's paying for itself. She's basically getting free leads, right? That's our strategy with self-liquidating funnels. So anyway, I will explain to you, if you've never heard of a self-liquidating funnel, what that is and why this is what is working right now in the industry. And I highly recommend jumping on this bandwagon. So self-liquidating funnel is a funnel where you're asking for a purchase up front, right? Gone are the days where people are putting freebies out there. Honestly, you're not really seeing a lot of freebie funnels anymore. And the reason for that is because they're getting you dead leads. They're not really going to get you anywhere. You can get, 5,000 different email subscribers, but if they're all wanting something free, are they really that serious? They're not really. And so this is a way of sorting, right? Number one, it's a way of sorting the people who are more serious versus the people who just want free stuff and they can get it everywhere. And this is the thing with information, right? Information is shifted, especially with AI. Information and knowledge is not power anymore. That narrative, that old adage that people said knowledge is power, it really isn't, because knowledge is freely sourced everywhere. You can go to ChatGPT and literally ask it to teach you everything, and you can pretty much get anything you want if you understand how to work with it properly, right? And if you look at someone like Elon Musk, like, he has open sourced patents. He's not protecting his knowledge. He's not, because he knows it's not power. It's the implementation that is power. It's the people that you surround yourself with and that you put yourself in proximity with. That's where the power is. And so people that are willing to pay, they understand that. They may or may not watch your content, but if they have something backing it, if there's some sort of investment there, they're highly likely to actually want to be the person to anchor change in themselves. And so that's the most important thing. Don't be giving things away for free in exchange for email addresses anymore. That just doesn't work, and you're going to get the wrong people. It's going to be a longer journey, right? And so the other powerful thing with the self-liquidating funnel is that with the purchase, so I have several running at the moment. I have a $47 multidimensional business mini course. It's super powerful. I'll link it below. I go really deep into the funnel strategy within that as well, but I also go into the quantum physics aspect of business as well. That's $47 course, right? The amazing thing about that $47 is it self-liquidates because the cost to acquire that client is going to be slightly less than that, right? And so what happens is they make the purchase, they buy the $47, and that may be the cost of acquisition from Facebook to get that client. And from there, you're getting free leads. And it's not just the course that they are purchasing, right? From there, we take them on a journey into what's called a VSL, or a video sales letter. And then that VSL leads them into booking a call with me. And so from that call, oftentimes people are then joining our mastermind, which at the moment is $15K. And so this is super powerful. We launched the $47 VSL, or I'm going to throw out lots of acronyms, self-liquidating funnel that leads into the book a call video. I'll try not to use all of the crazy jargon right now. And within 6 weeks, we made we made 46K, and we spend about 6K on ads. And when you have a funnel that self-liquidates in this fashion, this is where marketing budget becomes irrelevant, right? Because you're putting $1 in the machine, you're getting $11 out. By any stance, that's a really, really good investment. And from there, you scale. And this is where also, you get to be in your genius zone. And this is another reason why I love funnels, because what the people that I work with are coaches, they're healers, they're nutritionists. They're not people who want to devour and learn marketing and understand online business. And so the funnels are really powerful because you have a machine on your behalf. Number one, building your brand awareness. By the way, I just started a new Instagram. When I say just, it was probably about a year ago now. I'll tell you about another funnel I launched the same month that I started my Instagram over. So I don't really have brand awareness, right? I have several thousand followers now, but it's not enough to make me 46K in that short amount of time organically. And so you can bypass this whole organic slog of let's hope a post goes viral, let's hope a post will land, when you're really not getting that much data from that content, to where with funnels, Meta is giving you so much data. It is telling you what's working, what's clicking, what people are liking, what's landing, what's not landing, what to tweak, what to leave, what to scale, what to not scale. You're getting all of that information from Meta, to where any other strategy in my mind is more of a post and a pray. Let's throw shit at the walls and hope something sticks, and it doesn't really, right? And so this is the strategy I live by. This is the strategy I love because it creates this sense of inevitability. You get to gather information. It's scaling your brand awareness. The funnels have scaled my Instagram to thousands of followers. I haven't done that organically. My content, if you go to it now, gets very little engagement, in all seriousness. But the funnels are working on my behalf. And this is why they're really, really powerful. The other funnel I launched was a $17 mini course product. And I launched that the same month that I started my Instagram over. That led into a $500, what I would refer to as like a more mid-ticket product. So they firstly bought my $17, and throughout my process of my funnel, we then put a $500 offer at the back end. Now, when people are saying things like, oh, we made 46K in 6 weeks, or that funnel ended up doing multiple six figures from a $17 product, it's not the front end that's profiting, right? It's not the $17 or the $47 that's driving the profit. That's the self-liquidating aspect. Those two things are paying for the leads, the $17 and the $47. It's the back end that creates the profit. So the $17 funnel, February 2025 is when we launched that funnel. We made about $3,000 in revenue. Not going to change your life. We spent $1,500 on ads. That's fine. From there, the next month in March, we scaled that $17 funnel into $20,000. I think we spent like $7 on ads. And then from there, we scaled it. And then, it ended up doing multiple six figures. It stalled out a bit, so we had to rejig a few things, and we're relaunching that funnel again. And so you can see the power in this. I mean, I would be sitting at the pool with my daughter. I remember my friend excited, and she was saying, "Oh my goodness, she had one-on-one clients. I have a day of one-on-one clients, and they've booked themselves out. I'm going to make $300." And I remember sitting there in that moment going, "Okay, I just made $800." on course sales. I didn't say it out loud, but I just thought, oh my God, I love this reality. I love I love it, like waking up, seeing all the course sales in my inbox. I love just randomly getting these $500 USD purchases through, which is like $800 Australian. And then several times letting that happen. And okay, it's like a 2K day and I've literally done nothing, let alone it building out my email list full of thousands of people, let alone it building my own brand awareness. And so this is the mechanism that we use and we teach strategically within the Quantum Business Academy. So, with that said, there's the funnel part of it. There's a self-liquidating funnel aspect, and then there's the ad aspect. And so with the ads, obviously you need to create the creatives and the copy, and that's going to drive the traffic to the funnel. And then the funnel's job is to capture that traffic, to woo the traffic straight away, to be like, yes, this is the thing you need. And this is why it is different. Okay. This is a really important question to answer in any marketing and in any funnel, because at this point in time, right, everyone's already tried everything. People are almost sick of it. And if you can convey why your thing is different, why you are different, why it's not going to be the same as the 50 other courses they've already bought or the hundreds of thousands of dollars they've already invested in other masterminds, the amount of times I've heard that, it's a little bit alarming. But this is why this is different. Why this is different. Such an important question, right? Such an important question. Like, why is my academy different? Well, I don't know any academy out there that teaches this type of data-driven strategy and pairs with the crystalline stream of intelligence like Alari, bringing through quantum truths that smashes old paradigms, allows you to flip them in real time so you understand how to work with the energetics and understand how to work with the quantum, so you compare these two things, which again will make success inevitable. I don't know any other mastermind doing that. This is why we are different. And I was having this conversation with my media buyer, who's amazing. She's part of my mastermind. So not only that, we also teach you the ads aspect of it as well, right? You can pay a ton of money, and I have, to all these different ad agencies and all these different marketing agencies. I've been through all of them, and I've wasted a lot of money, unfortunately. And because you don't really get the results. But within our mastermind, we have a media buying expert who teaches you the ads side of being able to scale your funnel as well, which is super, super powerful. But I was speaking to Alex, the media buyer, our media buyer, and she has a very interesting perspective because that's what she does. She is a media buyer. She goes out and runs the ads for coaches from all over the world. And she said to me, Sarah, do you realize no one is doing what you're doing? And I was like, no, I didn't. That's not why I'm doing it. But yeah, it feels really good to know exactly why I'm different. And so when you can combine all of this, when you can have a real differentiating factor, when you have a mechanism that can go out on your behalf to capture leads, to convert the leads, to put them in an ecosystem, right? I don't just have a funnel, by the way. I have a whole ecosystem. So they come into my world, they get put into an email automation. They then might come and listen to my podcast. They'll see me on Instagram. So there's a few different ways and variations that they're fed information from me. And from there, by the time they book a call, they're already a yes. Like our conversion rates when we get the call bookings are so high, right? So high. It's like 85% people are yeses. And if it's not in the mastermind, they're doing a strategy intensive with me. It doesn't have to be the full mastermind. There's some value that I can give them in exchange for money. And so if business is feeling hard, that's normal, okay? This hasn't always been easy either. Funnels stall out, and I've had that happen myself. It's hard to get them back going again. The reality isn't glossy always, you get the misaligned clients every once in a while, but when you really anchor into an aligned strategy, like what I feel these funnels are for people, it's truly, truly life-changing. So that's what's working at the moment. Low ticket offers, funnels that are representing you and your brand. They're building your brand awareness. Funnels are amazing because they're not getting you in front of hundreds of people. They're getting you in front of tens of thousands of people worldwide. You get to choose the countries you target, right? You get to choose the demographics, and Meta is becoming more and more sophisticated with how it's able to do that based on who your avatar is. Now, with that said, So we do a done for you funnel within the mastermind. So you join the 8-month mastermind. We build the funnel for you. We give you all the copy templates, all the email templates, all the things you knew, copy paste the exact funnels that have gotten us our success, right? And then we also teach you the ad side of it, all of it. But with that said, the most important side of it, I would say, is the frequency. So it's great to have these data-driven machines on your behalf working for you. But I also say that there is no strategy that can override the laws of creation, which is why when you come into this podcast, 90% of what I speak about is frequency. And, this is where you have the synchronicities when you're in coherence with yourself, when you're making decisions based off of your own alignment, when you're able to transcend the evidence and choose beyond that. This is how you bring those timelines into physicality and experience the wild abundance that is available for everyone. I'm not special, not different to you. I've just been able to build the muscle of real hard decision making and saying yes, finding that deep knowing within me going, okay, this is a path I know I'm meant to choose, even though my body is screaming, oh my God, I'm scared. I don't want to do this. Like, how is this all going to click together? But then saying yes anyways, right? You can have all the strategy in the world, but if you don't know how to anchor into coherence within that strategy, it's always going to be finicky. It's never going to quite click together. You might put, whatever, it doesn't even matter the money you put behind it. But if you're not anchored into this signal, and Alex, my media buyer, will agree, it's always going to be a rough ride. So with that said, I'm going to leave you with that today. If you have any questions about building SLO funnels, if you don't want to be a part of the mastermind, we do singular funnel builds as well. One-off funnel builds combined with media buying with the ad strategy. And you can just click the link below, book a call, we can have a chat. And I would love to be the one to help get you to your next level.